Hello, welcome to the 2016 Earth Healers Summit. I am Mahdi Mason and I am the first person this week talking about the different ways that we can help the world around us. So it can be the land, air or water or animals or other people. That's what the Earth Healers Hub is really about. It's helping the rest of the world, and that's not excluding ourselves either, because we play such an important role on the individual level. And that's actually what I'm here to talk about today. I am here to talk about how important it is for you to be the most powerful version of yourselves in order to help the natural world, in order to help animals, in order to help everybody else around you. When we're the most powerful version of ourselves, that's when we are the lightest version of ourselves. That's when we are lessening our imprint, our energy imprint on the environment. When we're the most powerful version of ourselves, we're in true alignment. So I'm not saying the powerful version of ourselves is in, our ego. We're powerful because we have so much money, or we're powerful because we have a high position in an organization. Power in this situation, what I'm referring to, is the type of power when we are our true selves, when we are confident in ourselves, when we know exactly who we are and we stick to that and nothing can sway us from that. When we love ourselves, that's when we're really powerful. So there are numerous steps you can take to become the most powerful version of yourself, and the very first step is to set the intention to do that. Setting the intention should be the first thing you do whenever you're trying to achieve anything. It's so powerful. It tells yourself what you're trying to achieve, it tells your subconscious what you're trying to achieve, and it tells the universe what you're trying to achieve, and it actually sets the energy in motion towards achieving the goal. So setting the intention that you would like to be the most powerful version of yourself should be the first step in becoming the most powerful version of yourself. The next step is to be the most authentic version of yourself. So that means speaking your truth, not doing things because other people tell you to, not doing things that you don't really feel like doing, starting to be in the career that you want to actually be in, serving yourself, making sure you're looking after yourself, just being that true version of yourself, not being scared to be who you really are, wearing the clothes that you like to wear, just being authentic. That is a really key part in being powerful. When we're not authentic, we actually carry, that icky feeling that you get when you've just agreed to do something, to go to someone's house or whatever it is that you didn't particularly want to do because you wanted to do something for yourself. That icky feeling is actually energy that we carry in our energy field, and it makes us heavier. It's denser energy and makes our whole bodies a bit denser. And so when we're our most authentic version of ourselves, we don't actually carry any of that. We get rid of all of that, and nothing can really bring us down in the same way that it does if we're not being true to ourselves. So being authentic does actually make us lighter, because we're not carrying that yucky energy around. The next step is to start looking after yourself. So I'm not here to preach about being healthy to the extreme extent, because there's been so many times in my life where I have not been healthy. There's been so many times in my life where I've just been this huge party girl, and would have probably told anybody who told me I should be more healthy, I probably would have told them to get stuffed. So I just mean starting to be more healthy. So making sure you're eating a bit better, so less processed food, more organic food, more vegetables, more fruit, drinking more water, just the really basic things. And that's not to say that you can't go and have cheat days and eat the other things as well, because I really think it's important to keep balanced and still live in the society that we live in. I just mean most of the time, make sure you're looking after yourself. When we're eating healthy, we're putting less toxins in our body, and that means that we have less to release. It's less pressure on our bodies to go and have to try and get rid of all that stuff that's not used to getting rid of. Being healthy also means exercising, and exercising is so important in being powerful because it increases the energy flow through our bodies. So usually, if just say you don't exercise very much or you're not very mobile, you'll start to accumulate a whole lot of things in your bodies, and toxins or what have you, that just don't that your body can't get rid of because it doesn't have the energy behind it or the movement behind it to release it. So you just start building that up. When we exercise, we're putting the energy flows through our body, increasing that energy flow, and it gives your body enough energy to finally remove it, release it, shift it, and get rid of it. Exercising is also really good because it clears out our respiratory system, and we're breathing in and out, so it's clearing out that system, increasing our lung capacity, which is important because obviously we need air to breathe. If we have greater lung capacity, then it makes everything easier to do in our body. It's allowing our system to function at a higher capacity. Just as important as exercise, the other thing about exercise is it's sweating too. So sweating allows your body to get rid of toxins. If you're not sweating very often, you can have that build up again that makes it more difficult for your body to get rid of. The next thing about being healthy is to rest as well. Rest is just as important as it is exercise, because when you're resting, your body can finally get to those things that have been put on hold. Well, when you're running around like a mad person, and trust me, I've done this most of my life, I've hardly ever rested. It's only in the last few years that I've finally started to listen to my body and have realised how important it is. But when you're always on the go, your body's doing the best it can to facilitate you being on the go. So everything else, like releasing those toxins and repairing your body, sort of gets put on hold. So when you actually do allow yourself to rest, that's when your body can start doing those things that are so important in your well-being. So when we're healthy, we are functioning more at our capacity. It's helping us. Our bodies, our systems, our physical systems are working to their capacity, which in turn means that we're more powerful and we're being a more powerful version of ourselves. The next step in being the most powerful version of yourself is to release these things that no longer serve you. So whether it be old emotions, whether it is material possessions, whether it's relationships, anything, and negative thought patterns, self-limiting thought patterns, any of these things that are restricting you, that are keeping you down, are actually making you denser, are keeping you at this lower, operating at this lower level. So you're having a heavier energy imprint on the planet and the world around you. So to release these things, emotions for example, the first thing is to do, of course, set the intention, and then you can affirm that that's what you want to do, that you want to release these emotions. And even if you feel like they're not doing anything at first by saying these emotions, keep doing them, because after a while it gets more and more powerful, and over time you can start to release them. You sort of know when you have an emotional wound or something that you need to release, because things will just trigger you and you'll fly right off the handle and you don't know why. That's always an indication that there's some sort of emotional wound there. Or you'll find yourself getting worked up about the same thing all the time and you're not sure why it's that specific thing that gets you so worked up. Usually that's the sign that you need to release that. It's really important that we release these things, because they are little denser pockets of energy in our energy field. And again, if we have these denser bits, then our body isn't working to capacity, it's not working to potential, and it's making us heavier. It's increasing our energy load on the rest of the planet. So it's important to get rid of those, simply so that we feel better, but also because it allows us to be lighter again. And so another way to release those denser energies and in your energy field is to go and see an energetic healer. So someone such as myself, or there's many energetic healers around who will help you to be able to release that. And when we release that energy, there's a couple of different ways we can do it to make sure it's safe. We can release it back to Mother Earth, and that's my preferred way of releasing this energy, because we're all Mother Earth's children and she knows exactly what to do with anything that we carry. So she can transmute it into something that she can use again. And the other way is through fire, and just releasing it into fire. Fire is a perfect thing for transmuting energies, and it's really one of the greatest things that we have on this planet. The next thing you can do to release these sorts of energies is to visualize yourself releasing. So releasing it to earth or releasing it to fire, and allow yourself to release it. The next step to being the most powerful version of yourself is to lead with your heart. So when we're leading with our heart, it's actually a higher vibrational area that we're working with, instead of working at this lower vibrational of areas of being, worried or being in our mind or feeling like the victim in life. When we're leading from our heart, it's this higher space, it's this higher perspective that we're working at, and so it's good for everybody else around us, not just because we're more inclined to do loving things and being of service to other people, but also because it's actually, we're working from a lighter space. And the important thing to remember when we're talking about leading from our heart is that we need to lead from our heart towards ourselves as well. So we're not just doing everything else for everyone else because we love them. We need to love ourselves first. We need to set our boundaries. We need to do the things that are going to be beneficial for us, because that's what makes us our most powerful version of ourselves and the lightest version of ourselves. One final thing I will mention is to also make sure we're watching our thoughts when we're talking about being the most powerful version of ourselves. Being powerful means seeing things from a higher perspective, and we can do that simply by choosing to think more positively, because again, that's when we're not being as dense or as heavy or as negative. When we're thinking more positively, we're actually being lighter, we're thinking lighter, and we can see the bigger picture. That's the benefit of thinking positively. So that's about it from me today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentations this week, and I hope to see you somewhere along the line through the Earth Healers Hub. Thanks very much.